Hi, I'm back doing another vlog. So, let's do it the old fashioned way. Hello and welcome. What the hell was that? That was not the old fashioned way. So, yeah, welcome back to another vlog after, I'm going to say, 6 months of not vlogging. How well this is going to come out, I do not know. Why do I not know? Because I'm using a new camera setup. I don't think I've ever used this camera in more vlogs, even though I did have it. And as a completely new setup, I'm using just it's sort of mixed match with some stuff from photography and new stuff like the camera. Not that this is my only camera, I do have other new ones which hopefully you'll see in future vlogs. I don't think you'll see them in this one, but you never know. So what's been happening the last 6 months? Well, not too much if I'm honest. Sort of why I want to apologise as well for not doing a vlog in so long is pretty much I felt the vlogs were getting very stale, very boring. Which, when you're working 12 hours, that is going to happen. It's difficult, and then editing them and yada 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 becomes difficult as well. But I am going to start coming back and doing them. I've got a few ideas I might want to try, a few old things I might go back to doing. Like, for argument's sake, I'm thinking about going back to doing vape videos, like the vape and booze reviews I used to do. I might rename them and start doing them again as well, try and make them a bit more entertaining. It might not be solely booze this time doing them, because I did feel my hands were pretty tied at that. You know, I was going out spending a lot of money on liquids and oils. I'll still call them oils. Even a lot of people used to moan, they're called vape liquid or this, that. No, they're oils to me. I call them oils, right? Slang. So I'm thinking about going back to that, and within saying that, I do still have the big, sorry I'm just trying to get this from, excuse me, the big TFV18. Unfortunately I seem to have lost my 16, which is really rather quite annoying, but I do still have the 18. And this is on my old Snowwolf 218 at the moment. There's a reason why I put them together. But no, they do work really well, and you still need to watch what I'm doing for smoke alarms, and there is one just up there above me. So I need to watch what I'm doing. And I can't remember if I ever showed this one off on camera. It was my IPX80, which a bit of an old school or an older fashioned type vape now. I mean, it does do sub-ohm, well, it only does sub-ohm. And I'm not going to go too much into it, but this is what the class is the MTL coils, or mouth to lung. I'm presuming that's what it stands for. I might look that up. And as you can see, that's still a lot of vapour for a mouth to lung. That's at 20 watts, so yeah, I actually quite like that, because my smoking was becoming really quite bad again, and I am trying to cut right back down again. You don't know if that will show up on camera, but you can actually vape falling back down from both of them. So I am thinking of starting to do them again, but it might not just be booze I do it with, it could be juice, coffees, teas, things like that, just whatever I fancy really, or if people have ideas. Put them in the comments, I'll give it a try. So what else has been happening? Well, I have got myself a new bike again, so for those that don't know, I did used to have a Honda CBR 600, I think it was the 4F, and I loved that wee bike. It was brilliant, it was fun. It was a really fun wee bike, you know, especially for only being a 600, it was really quite fun. But unfortunately one day I did get knocked off it, and that was sort of the end of the story with that. So some people seem to think that put me off bikes. It didn't, but I didn't just want to jump into another bike I didn't really enjoy. And then a couple of months back I seen one for sale. It's a Triumph Sprint. I'll try and put a picture on your screen, well, on this screen. It's a Triumph Sprint RS955i, so it's the fuel injected model. And the reason when I seen that I sort of went, I like that, I like the look of it, is simply because when I passed my test and I got my first big bike, as we sort of say, that's what it was. It was a Sprint RS955i. It was one I'd known for a long time when I bought it. I knew its previous owner really quite well. He'd really maintained it, really looked after it. and I was sort of like, you know what, I really fancy that. So I bought that back then, and I fell in love with it. And then, I'm not going to go into too much details about what's happened with that, I still own it. And I'm hoping at some point I can maybe get back on the road. I'm hoping so. So when this one came up and I had the money sitting, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go and look at this bike, I'm going to try it out. That's where the picture came from, was the day I went and test rode it. And that's what happened, as I ended up taking, well, just buying the bike. I really fell in love with it, you know, all over again. It's different, it's a few years age difference between the two of them. It's definitely set up from my original one, but I really enjoy it. It's a nice bike, it's a wee bit lower. I might need to try and lift it up a wee bit, or stiffen it up a wee bit, because it's quite low. But then again, my partner's a wee bit of a short arse, so it might suit her when we get her back on the bike as well. Because I think her history with bikes and the fact that I got knocked off the CBR has affected her a wee bit. She's not too keen on them. So, you never know, I might have put something up on the screen to show you a wee one of that. Because I did have it out not that hellish long ago. It'd be like the last one for winter. It just turned into a nice day. It was really cold, but it was a nice day to get out on it. So, hopefully I got some of that on the screen for you. And, well, I think that's sort of the main developments lately. My partner's now changed jobs. She's working somewhere else now. I'm not going to say where, because it's not my place to say where she works. But she no longer works for the company she did. I'm not going to say where she did work, because I already know through watching other people on Facebook, YouTube and things like TikTok, you know, just things like that in general. That company was known for suing if their name was used. You know, and like one of the guys I watch on Facebook and that he done comedy skits. You've probably seen him around. He does do things with, I don't want to say because I don't know him. It's not that I don't want to promote his channel. I think what he does is really good, but I don't know how he would react if he found out. I'm not saying he would, but you never know. But he does videos with the Monster Energy drink, and he used to do like videos from when he works in the same retail company, and I think he got sued by them. I think I'm not 100% for using their name. Now whether that was just because he was wearing their tops in these videos or that, I don't know. I didn't really go into it, but I do believe that he got sued for that. So yeah, my partner used to work there and she no longer does. So yeah, that's about all them big changes. We've still got the two dogs. They're doing brawn. Nico is getting a bit older. He is starting to show his age a wee bit more, so that's a bit unfortunate. So what else has been happening? Well, I'll tell you what, this might give you some of you a laugh. I've had quite an eventful end of 2023. Not in a particularly bad way, just things in general, like... Right, I'm trying to get this. I know I sort of dragged that out a wee bit there, which I really shouldn't have. Like, just... Like, at the beginning of December, right, to give you an idea, is I live in a blocky flats, so obviously there's people live around me, and I've got people below me, and I'm sorry if my hands keep getting cut off, but for a while, right, we had a leak in our hallway that was coming from the roof because we were at the top floor. So we've got nobody above us, just an empty attic space. So I was complaining to my, well, say the council about this leak for quite a while. I kept getting told, no, there's no leak, we can't find it, there's nothing to worry about. But there was things going on in my house that was saying evidence to the contrary. Like in my bathroom I had tiled walls, I didn't have wet walls, I had tiled walls. And the tiles all of a sudden were peeling off, and it seemed they were peeling from the back, and I did get somebody up to have a look and they went, that's evidence of a leak. So we got the council out again, they came up, they pulled the bath panel off, had a look under there, went, no, it's dry, it's fine, there's nothing to do with it. Then we started getting bubbling in the paint and the plaster on the walls in the hallway, and I've got a cupboard in the hall, and in there, it just turned everything was getting mouldy. I was like, no, look, something's seriously wrong, these walls are actually now getting wet to the touch. So the council came out again. This has taken months. I mean, this has been over a year we've been complaining about this leak. So eventually they sent somebody out, and the guy came out, had a look at my house, and went, alright, yes, definitely a leak here, and this is a bad leak. I had a look at my bathroom. We need to replace your bathroom, the leak's destroyed it. So I was like, well, that's handy for me. That really is. And he went up into the attic, and he found there was an old water tank up there that had been cut off. The flats no longer used that. None of them did. But for whatever reasons, they'd left the water tank full. They hadn't emptied it like they were supposed to. It was the only one they'd left full, and a hairline crack had appeared in it. So this tank had constantly been leaking for a long, long time, just very, very slowly, and causing all this damage. So that got fixed. And then my downstairs neighbour came up and explained he had a leak. So he got in touch with the council himself, he explained it. Now the guy that fixed our leak had gone down, had a look, and didn't see any evidence of the leak, make it further down. So they came out again, they had a look, and went, oh yes, you do have a leak, but that'll be the residual of this water tank, so don't worry, it should soon stop. Now that was back at the beginning of 2023, like the first quarter of it. And throughout the year he kept coming back, when have you got a leak, we seem to still have this leak ongoing, and we've had the council up again multiple times looking, no, there's no leak, saying to him, as far as we know, the same thing, don't worry about it, it's just residual from the water tank, it will stop. And then I noticed I was having issues with my floors in my flat. Like, some of the bits were getting really quite soft. And so I got in touch with the council, they sent somebody up who had a look at one spot. Now I presume these soft spots were going to be tied back to the leak in the attic. The guy came out, he looked at one spot, and he said something to do with a packer had moved, like through vibration, something like that, so he put this bit of packing back under the joist to firm it back up, and that's it. I went, well, what about the other soft spots? So you go have a look at them. And my floors, where the other two soft spots have got plyboard on them, and he just point blank refused. He went, no, I'm not doing that, it's not my job to do this, yada yada yada. And he was a joiner, so he was coming out for that. He was, I don't want to say he was useless, but he didn't seem keen on working. So he refused to look at them and said it'd be fine. He got in touch with those that were in charge of my rent and that, and said it was fixed, not to worry about it. And that was that, as far as we knew at the time. Then we eventually had another joiner come up a couple of weeks ago, beginning of December. And he said that downstairs was still having this leak, could he come in and have a look? As I said yes, he came in and basically, well, he didn't come in, but he made an appointment then, which was quite handy because I worked night shift, which I think my neighbour had told him, so he wanted to make an appointment to when it was suitable to us. Which we made with him, and he came up, he had a look, like came back for his appointment, he had a look. And it took about 5 minutes to detect one of my water pipes in my flat was leaking. So they quietly dunk. And whilst this was going on, I was working the same night he had to come up. So my partner was dealing with him, and he was really apologetic for the noise and all the rest of it because he knew I was working. That's fine, I didn't have an issue with that because he left it as late as he could in the day, and I'd have been getting up soon for work anyway. So it wasn't a big deal. Anyway, I came out to make myself a coffee, yada yada yada. It took him 5 minutes from that to figure out where this leak was, which was fine. And he literally pulled the vinyl back in the hallway, because that's where the leak was. He got his tools out, he cut away some of the plyboards, which had to be put down. He seen why it had been put down, he was fine with that, he had no issues. Found the leak, got a plumber up, and he had to cut off the hot water to my kitchen. Because the way they've put the water pipes is basically they're overlying each other, and every time me and my partner, the dogs, whatever, have been walking up and down the hallway, walking into the kitchen, going to the toilet, whatever, the pipes have been rubbing, and they've eventually rubbed through. And he had to phone up, and he had to phone his office because he's a joiner, and he had to get a plumber out to turn the water off. Thankfully we found the stop cock, or whatever you call it, the cut-off valve in the whole cupboard. We managed to turn it off, so nothing was leaking bad, it just stopped it doing any worse. And we done all that, and even he said, when he was on the phone, like, you heard it straight away, like, whoever he was on the phone to was trying to blame me and my partner, saying, well, if there's plyboard down, they must put a nail through it. I was like, wait, here, hold on, I've lived here for over 10 years and that plyboard's been down within the first sort of couple of months of me being here, a couple of weeks even, not months. You know, so it's, for 10 years, you know, if I'd been leaking, you'd have known before this. You know, I sort of said that to myself in my head. And the guy on the phone's like, no, this isn't the tenant's fault, they've not done this. This is the way your water pipes have been laid out, it's a stupid design. You know, why was it put like that? We don't know, it should never be like that because they're going to rub, and it's the rubbing that's caused the hole. So the plumber comes up, water gets cut off, so right now, I'm right by the sink, as you can hear. Still no hot water tank. There, tank, tap. In my kitchen, only in my kitchen, only that one tap. I've got cold water, I don't have hot water. Because they've cut the water off to stop the leak. And they were meant to come back within like the next week. I went, well, that's ideal. If you come back the following week, that's perfect because I'm on holiday. So I no longer have to worry about work. I can be up, no problem. That was mid-December. And I'm still waiting for them to come back to me. I've been chasing them, emailing them. Obviously, it's New Year when at the point of filming this, so I can't email them. But I am getting a bit irritated that they've not come out and repaired it. But we are surviving. So I had that, and that's like, right, okay, so I was back to work, had my week off, went back to work, done my full week at work. Not going to go into that because there's things there, but not going to go into it. Like, just it's company stuff, it's not for my videos. And on that, I will say, I know some people want me to try and film my work, what I do. I am not allowed. Right? I cannot film in my work, and that comes from the bosses. I have asked, I am not allowed, so please don't think you're going to get that. I can do filming at work if it's done properly, and I can film myself like doing this, but I cannot film my work itself. And I'm not exactly going to kick off and try and cause issues. So anyway, there was all that. And went to work, had my fair week. Now, we split off the Thursday before Christmas, was our last day. Essentially Friday morning because we worked night shift. But it wasn't a big deal, so I had that. Christmas came and went, had a good time, that was brilliant. Then, after Christmas, like just after Christmas, my washing machine packed in. You know, my big Peugeot's having issues, that's been having issues for a long time, that's still away getting repaired. But my washing machine just packed in. That was it, the motor burnt out or something like that. I'm not complaining because I'd had it so long it had really served its purpose, and I'm sure I got that second hand, so. That was back when I moved in again, so well over 10 years of use and abuse. It served its time. It just was a really inconvenient time because Christmas, New Year, money's really tight. I'm saying, God, how the hell am I going to fix this? Yada yada yada. And I will be honest, somebody got in touch with me, like, cause I was asking around, folk, can I use your washing machine, things like that. I had a few folks said I could, it wasn't an issue. And one of the people I phoned said, well, you know what, I've got one sitting there, I've just replaced mine, my old one's there, and it still works, it's still good, do you want that? I was like, well, yeah, that'd be brilliant, that'd be fantastic. And I was like, well, all I've got to do now is find a way to get from point A into mine. And like I said, I am in a block of flats, I'm not on the ground floor, I've got to get it up here, you know, without damaging it. So I was having a wee think, how am I going to do this? I had a few folk I could phone and ask them, but I was like, got to make sure my car can do this, yada yada yada. And so a friend of mine phoned me up and went, you know what, we haven't got to see a mutual friend in a while, have you heard from him? I was like, no, I'm not. Have you? And he was like, no, a wee bit worried, do you want to go out and see them? Like, and they're a mutual friend, so I was like, yeah, that'd be handy. And it so happens they have a van. So I said to him, look, not being cheeky, if we're going to do this, when suits you, can we arrange this? And would you mind helping pick up this washing machine? And I explained my circumstances. And they're like, no problem, don't worry about it, we've got this. We'll do it the same day. So we got that, I now have a washing machine again. Yes. And yeah, that was really quite handy. My friends really did, they stepped in, they helped out. Now, I knew I could have phoned them anyway and asked them, but it was just really handy that that all worked out together. The night before that happened, me and my partner were sitting, we were talking like, what do you fancy for dinner? we'd been out, done a wee bit of shopping for the house, everything was good, everything was cushy. And I was like, right, we'll go out and we'll get something for dinner. So it's like, you fancy a takeaway? We'll be nice, we'll get a takeaway. Now, something I might do in a future video is, it has been in my mind, is maybe do reviews of takeaways, because why not? And a normal takeaway I go to, I really highly recommend them all the time, really like him. He's just across the road from me, and he's already said, yeah, why not do filming? I usually do a voice, like an accent. It's, yes, hello my friend, how are you doing? He is a very nice man, he has already said, yes, if you want to film for your YouTube, you've not done it for a while, you used to watch it. If you want to film, then yes, please feel free, come into my shop, you film in here, you can do that, no problem. Just send me a link to YouTube video when you're done. As a impersonation of me knows I does it. I do it, I'm not being racist, it's just a bit of fun. So I've got there to do it, I've got a few other places I'm thinking of going and doing things like that. So I was saying, so we decided to go and try this sort of new place out that's opened not that far away, but the weather was really bad. It was like, well, we'll take the car up, we'll be lazy. And we went to take the car out and found out we had a flat tyre. So blew it up, like, no big deal, I've got a compressor. Like, bit strange, you know, like, it was fine earlier, we went out, done the shopping, it was fine. And that was it. Blew it up, went away, got the food, came back, parked the car back up. It was like a strange one, you know, like, God knows what's happened. Next morning, its tyre was flat again. It seems to have picked up a slow puncture. I was like, oh, great. That's just what I need, you know, like, thankfully, again, I didn't need the car that day, which I was really quite thankful for. Got the washing machine sorted out, because this was the same day I was picking the washing machine up. So thankfully I had that sorted. My mate came out, we went away and checked on another mate who's fine, if anyone's wondering. He's just been keeping himself busy and hadn't really thought of not being in touch with anyone for a while. Part of the reason we're worried is he is a bit of an older gent, lives on his own in the middle of nowhere, and he usually is quite talkative, but that was fine. It was fine, he was telling us all these projects he'd been doing, all that stuff he'd been working on, he's really been keeping busy. Glad to see it. So we got everything done, we got the washing machine, brought it up, installed it, all the rest of it, which, perfect, I was quite happy with that. That saved our skin a wee bit. But unfortunately, that timeline of not having a washing machine, even though it was only a wee bit, has caused a backload of like laundry needing done, things like that, because I don't like going out and asking folk, oh, can I do a load of laundry in your house? I personally don't like doing it. So, I'm now sorting all that out. And today I actually went out and fixed the tyre in the car, so we put the spare wheel on it. I'm now going to take the old one away, get that puncture repaired on that, and then that's going to become the spare wheel, might just replace the tyre altogether, because it is a bit worn. So that has been my December, which has been quite eventful. But not always in the best way. But I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, it's got me down, I'm depressed. It's not. I'm trying to look at the brighter side of it's all worked out in the end, you know. It's been a pain, yes, but it's worked out. So in saying that, I'm not going to drag this video out too long because it's already 20 odd minutes, I can see that. I hope you've had a giggle at some of my events that have been ongoing. I am back to work later this week. Well, if I post this where I used to post them, which would be a Sunday night, I would have already been back to work, and this would be my first weekend off of 2024 by the time you're viewing this, if it goes up in time. So upon saying that, I hope you've all had a very Merry Christmas, or Happy Holidays, whatever you use, swap and celebrate this time of year that has just passed. I hope you've all had a very good year, and 2024 is going to be a better year for everyone. And I'm going to bring an end to the video there, and we'll see what the future brings for my YouTube channel. But don't forget, be smart, be safe, think of others, and peace!